Icon Funding is the leader in creative real estate capital. With millions of dollars available to investors immediately, home flippers and developers, we have terms that are tailored to your needs, and most of our creative loaning programs are based on the property value and not your credit. We can have you closed and moving forward in as little as 3 days. Through our no financials required and all credit accepted loan program, along with our reduced rates and fees, we are able to close commercial loans that are outside of conventional lending guidelines. If you want to learn more, go to iconfunding.net. That's iconfunding.net for your free consultation with our experts and professionals. Go to iconfunding.net. Life has its challenges, its inconsistencies, and confusions. But it doesn't have to be like that. It can be rewarding, prosperous, and full of understanding. Now it can be with Rob Thompson's Total Life Makeover 49-day program. This online training will take you through work, career, relationships, mindset, spirituality, and most of all, find out exactly who you are. Never doubt, never worry, but have full understanding on the next steps to take. Visit robthompson.com, that's robthompson.com, to sign up and get started today.
Players, every week I bring you somebody in power. Today I have a power player. Okay, I'm telling you this. I am so excited about this interview. Anthony Scaramucci, okay, Napoleon from Italia. This dude, okay, I cannot say enough. He's got a new book out called Hopping Over the Rabbit Hole. This is his third book, right, Anthony?
Third book, yeah.
Little Book of Hedge Funds, his first book. Goodbye Garden Gecko, his second book. And the third book is Hopping Over the Rabbit Hole. He owns a company called SkyBridge Capital. Okay, this guy's in Long Island, real dude, does a podcast called Motivation Inside. 2005, he was a co-founder of Oscar Capital, sold to Berman, right? In 2000.
Yeah, Neuberger Berman. Yeah, we sold that to Neuberger Berman.
2004.
SkyBridge after that.
In 2004, he was a private wealth management at Goldman Sachs. Now you know this guy. He's in a locker room of the biggest thieves on the planet, man. Okay, and 2015 ranked 91st in Worth Magazine's Power 100, the 100 most powerful people in global finance. And in 2011, after the economy collapsed, he win that and couldn't. So we got a power player, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, you could have won it, brother.
Anthony, great to have you here, man. Really, really appreciate. And I want to go over your whole story, but what I want to start, because now my audience knows you're a real deal. You've had up to $12 billion, right?
Yes.
Is that currently what y'all are doing now?
Yeah, so we're basically the 10th largest. 12.3 billion is we were doing well prior to the global financial crisis, and then the world started shaking, and we were frankly losing our business. And I thought SkyBridge was going to be no bridge or the bridge to nowhere, frankly. So I really tried to write a very honest book. As a fellow Italian, we grew up at a dinner table where we wore everything on our sleeves. And so I wanted to write a naked version of success. Why your books are so popular, by the way.
So let me ask you, so the audience understands, what does your firm collect on $12 billion?
Yeah, so well, it really depends on the size.
Because you're talking about naked, so let's get naked.
Yeah, all right, so we're getting naked. I mean, it depends on the size of the account. So we charge anywhere from 150 basis points, which is 1.5%, to about 60 outsourced chief investment officer to pick hedge funds for you and your family. I'll do all the risk management, the qualitative assessment, selection of managers, and I'll build the portfolio for you. And instead of you opening up your own family office to do that for yourself, the same way you may have like Paychex or ADP do your payroll, you would have us do your hedge fund investing.
You're dealing with very wealthy families that have so much money, and they don't want to spend their time figuring out where to invest that money anymore. And they trust
a portion of it.
Yeah,
yes, exactly right. But also I set up a very interesting product. Well, no, you're gonna love me, man, because
I do. But I mean, I hate your model because it's so cool, bro. It's like you're the expert. You get wealthy people that trust you, right?
Yeah, but you got to deliver. I mean, the one problem is, as you'll learn in our business, Grant, that everybody's a long-term investor until they have short-term losses.
Right.
And then they set their hair on fire and they run around like crazy.
Yeah.
And they totally misplace their investment objectives and their goals. But I mean, the good news for us, to you guys, We developed a product. I wanted to be, because I think about
hang on, Anthony. Before we go there, before we look at the model, I want to know who was little Anthony. Okay, everybody knows you're a big.
Okay.
You did that shrug right there, like I'm not where I want to be yet, right?
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Like you. I mean, listen.
Totally.
Who was little Anthony? So I was the middle. I was a middle child and a close. So it was old school Italian. There were probably 35 of us. From 4 or 5 families. I mean, so large families. I have an older brother, a younger sister. I always was a worker. My dad had a lunch pail, so he used to go to work at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, come home 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so he had a big time work ethic, and that big time work ethic was instilled in me. And so I had a paper route. I was selling seeds out of a comic book. My uncle had a motorcycle shop, so I used to go up there and sell mopeds and helmets. I got into 2 accidents by the time I was 15. Your
family, it's a loving family.
My parents were great.
So you're kind of lower middle class.
I would say middle class. I wouldn't want to dishonor my dad by telling I grew up in the lower middle class. He worked his what off.
Yeah.
I tell you, I never felt like we were in want for anything. So I never want to say that we were lower middle class. We were in the middle class. There was money and meatballs, and there were air conditioners going in and out of the windows.
And let me think. If there was any spaghetti left in the bowl, they put it in the refrigerator. This was before the Ziploc containers, right?
Amen. And children were starving in Ethiopia, so the chances were there weren't a lot of spaghetti left over because they were force feeding it on.
So what Anthony's saying is his mom would say, "Look, eat it all because there's people starving in Ethiopia." And by the way, your mom probably didn't even know where Ethiopia was, right?
No, she probably didn't know, but she knew that was a good way to guilt me into becoming fat as a kid. But I wasn't fat; I was an athlete, so that was good. But then I was very desultory and like a disaster in school. That's why I enjoyed.
Anthony, hang on 1 second, okay? We're going to go to a quick break. You're watching Power Players, folks. This cat is a real power player. Don't leave. It
takes motivation, trial and error. Drive is required. It's time to get it right. Buying or finding a new home should not be stressful or boring. With over 14 years experience, Good Time Tommy has spent his time building strategies, tips, and content that will help you, the new homeowner or seasoned homeowner, get the best deal for your money. Educate, navigate, and celebrate. Because whether you're buying or selling, you're going to get more traffic to your property until you are satisfied. Your new home awaits you with Good Time Tommy and his team. Subscribe, like, and follow at goodtimetommy.com. That's goodtimetommy.com. Are you a small business who has a brand new solution for you? AG Capital business owner the best rates and the best protection for your employees. AG Capital will immediately show you how to add profit to your bottom line and show you the employee how to get a cheaper premium. Register now at agcapitalgroup.com. That's agcapitalgroup.com. If you are a business owner who needs custom software solutions for business so you can focus on what you do best, which is grow your company, let Nico's Computer Engineering get you started today. With a free consultation, CEO and owner Tim Clark has spent the last 10 years building custom software for companies around the United States. Whatever your need is, whatever industry, if you need efficiency, Tim Clark can help you. Nico's Computer Engineering knows that you value speed to market. That's why we have the fastest turnaround and software implementation on the planet. If you want to get started with Nico's, go to nicoce.com. That's nicoce.com to get started right now.
I'm back with Power Players. I have today with me Anthony Scaramucci. Okay, he's out of Long Island. He owns a company called SkyBridge Capital. They have $12 billion under management and advisement. His book is The Rabbit Hole. What is it? What is it? Hopping over the rabbit hole. Hopping, man. I got to hop over the rabbit hole. And we're going to talk about what happened. This guy comes from a family of 3. His dad's a lunch bucket, hardworking labor guy doing 10 or 12 hours a day trying to take care of his family, right?
Yeah.
Left him with a good work ethic. Where?
So I got very lucky with school. So when my dad got a little older, they moved him into like a dispatcher's job. And so he met somebody that was a trustee at Tufts University up in Boston. So the funny part of this story is he came home. We had to be at the dinner table 5:15 at night unless we were playing sports. And so he turned to my older brother. He said, I'm telling you. And my brother looked at him and said, how do you spell that? He said, Toughs. You know, he had no clue, right? So now we're looking through the Barron's book, and my older brother says, Dad, we're not going to this school. It's a most selective school, and we're not getting into this school. He said, no, relax. I just met one of the trustees there. Your grades are good enough. And so my older brother went to Tufts, and it was like Henry Ford with the Model A. You could have any color you wanted as long as it was black. You remember that line?
Yeah, sure.
My father was like, you're going to Tufts? I said, okay, no problem. So I applied to Tufts and I think 2 local colleges. I got into Tufts, did well there, and then I went to Harvard Law School after Tufts.
Yeah, you're like one of the privileged.
Hey, there's no question about that. I mean, that was an amazing experience. But I'll say this to you. I had very mediocre grade. I had a very high SAT score, but I had very mediocre grades in high school. Yeah. And I was chasing. And my dad handed me a $10,000 check that he had cashed out his life insurance from his union. And this was like in April or May of 1982, right before I was going to graduate from college. Okay, I'm giving you this money to put towards your tuition at Tufts, and this is more or less what I have to help you get through school. And I remember being like, it was like an awakening. It was almost like an epiphany. I was like, oh my God, this college thing means so much to my dad. I've got to like drop and shake off my laziness and my focus on the wrong things. And so I went to college very fired up to try to do well. And so, I had very good grades at Tufts, which is why I got into Harvard.
So, and did you had an intention? I mean, you went there with some kind of plan or agenda.
I think it's like what you write about in your books, where the light bulb went off in your head at 25. For me, the light bulb was like off in my head at 18. I was like, okay, I got to not disappoint my folks. They've worked so hard to have me get to this position in my life. I'm just going to try to do the best I can without any of the BS that I was doing.
So when did you go to college? You did all right in college? You had great grades?
I was, look, I probably sound like I'm bragging. I'm not trying to, I graduated at the top of the class. I had a really good LSAT score, and I got accepted to Harvard Law School among a couple of other law schools. And so I went to Harvard, Brett. So they said, we're going to Hartford, Connecticut. I said, no, Mom, we're going to Harvard. She's like, well, where's that?
That's hilarious, man.
That was them. They didn't know any better. You know, and they're still alive, thank God. So, but when I got out of law school, I didn't practice law. Though I went.
Ask me all the time, man. Would you go to college, bro? Don't go to college if you don't have an agenda, if you don't have a plan. This dude goes to Tufts. He gets his grades up so he can get into Harvard, so he can meet the people, so he can walk out and get a job at Goldman School. Any school that would take me, any school I could afford. No agenda. I just got a college degree thinking that was going to help me. You used it to get you in the door at Goldman, right?
But you did something that is extraordinary, and I think this is the reason why you have such a following and why you're a best-selling author, because you literally saw an opportunity and you realized that fear and goal setting is all in between your ears and behind your eyes, and you locked yourself onto a target and you pursued that with a vengeance, to your point about obsessiveness.
Yeah, I know, but like if I came back, man, I'd want to be in your world though, okay? Because my company doesn't have $12 billion worth of assets under control. Like it's just a different pool to play in. And for you to enter at Goldman, you have to play a different game, okay? Rather than
I accept that, but look, I do accept that. But I will tell you though, and I told this story in the book. When my first job interview at Goldman, I was in a 100% polyester suit with a polyester shirt and a black Guido tie.
And gold chain underneath that.
I did. I had a gold chain underneath it, and I thought I looked fantastic. Okay, and I remember calling my mom, like saying, "Well, how should I dress?" And she told me how to dress.
Yeah.
And I went there. I had a 45-minute interview, Grant, and they were looking at me like, "Okay, you're a smart kid, but you are the worst dressed person that we've met at the Harvard Law School." And so I put it in that book on your desk there because I wanted people to know, particularly people in the middle class, that, you grow up with some naivete, you grow up with some lack of knowledge. Of course. But it's okay. You can push yourself through it,
Yeah. So take me through what happens at Goldman's. I mean, when do you go from, you're just earning some money at Goldman's, they're paying you a salary, treating you like nobody, right?
Yeah. Well, it was a little worse than that. So I absolutely sucked at that job. And I write this in the book as well. So I went and got that job because I thought it was the coolest, best job coming out of Harvard Law School. I was one of those insecure kids where I needed to go to the Harvard Law School cocktail party and tell everybody there, "Hey, man, I got the coolest job." And so the problem with that was I absolutely stunk at the job. And so I was on the investment banking desk, and I worked for 18 months, and the firm went through a little bit of a tailspin in 1990 before the Gulf War, and they fired me. And so I started work at Goldman in August of 1989. I was fired on February 1st, 1991. And now this is the weird part of the story, and I write about it in the book because it's a lesson to people. When you're getting fired, handle it like a gentleman or a gentlewoman, and be kind and gracious on the way out, because now I'm looking for a job, and lo and behold, there's a job at Goldman. From Goldman on February 1st, and I got rehired into Goldman on March 28th in a different position. Okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
I try to tell that. I want to tell a real story. To your listener, ups and downs and oscillations in the thing.
The book is Hopping Over the Rabbit Hole. Okay. The author is Anthony Scaramucci. He's on Power Players today. He got fired from Goldman Sachs. I got fired from McDonald's. In Power Players, we're going to be right back with Anthony.
Opportunity, it's what we live for. Financial freedom is created from opportunity. At Symmetry Financial, we are committed to getting hard workers, talented individuals who love to sell, who love to help others create a strong six-figure income. If you ever wanted to have everything you wanted in life, Symmetry Financial holds the key. .biz. That's sfgcareers.biz. Make 6 to 7 figures overnight as an expert in your industry. Monetize your knowledge, monetize everything you work for, and make it work for you. Russell Whitney, expert in knowledge monetization, has worked with some of the largest brands, building out content that made them kings of their space. Scale your business to a 9-figure brand, sell from stage, create events, build a sales team, and get moving right now on your greatest expansion in business yet. Visit russellwhitney.com. That's russellwhitney.com to get started. Are you tired of buying ads? How much would 5 times more visitors from search engines like Google or Bing, Dufik, with companies like Hertz, MTV, and LinkedIn have increased their revenue as much as 600% using link research tools? We have offerings to get your business to become the dominant force on the internet. The secret of internet traffic is what we give you. We convert that traffic into cash flow for your business. Learn more at linkedresearchtools.com. That's linkresearchtools.com and sign up now. There's only one company you need to know in telecommunications, and that's Bullfrog. Bullfrog is so advanced and so in the future, you don't even need a desk phone anymore to run a business. Integrate right now with what you and your employees already pay for, their cell phone. Run an entire business from there, from group chat to monitoring to call forwarding, and we will guarantee that you never experience a drop call again. You can save an extra $60,000 a year with Bullfrog and the plans that they have for your company. And for your free trial, go to bullfrog.net. That's bullfrog.net for your free trial of this outstanding service. Go to bullfrog.net for your free trial right now.
Hey, welcome back to Power Players. Okay, I got a guy that's a trip hole. You can get it Books A Million. Amazon's got it. Everybody's got it.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got it now. Yeah, it came out yesterday.
And it's about a cat that grew up just the way me and you did. Okay,
it's actually sold out, thank God, on Amazon. But
don't tell people that. Don't tell people that. Nothing's ever sold out, Anthony. I got to teach you a lot about selling, man. Okay,
right. It's not sold out. I feel bad that it's sold out. I don't think they ordered enough books.
Yeah, don't worry about it, because Amazon never orders enough books. Okay, we'll get that handled too. By the way, I'm going to get them a bunch of your books. So hopping over the rabbit hole, go order it right now. This dude, look, he's been fired from jobs like most of us have. He runs a $12 billion fund. I want to talk, Anthony, about what happened in 2009, because if you're raising money, if you're being fired later, you've seen if you were on Wall Street in 2008 and 2009, that's what I want to hear about. What happened, man?
So I mean, I'll truncate it quickly. So I was fired, rehired into Goldman, 7 years at Goldman. I built a registered investment advisor in 96 and sold it in 01. And then 01 to like 05, I was working at Lehman Brothers. Yeah. And I left Lehman in 05 to start SkyBridge. And so I'm at SkyBridge doing okay, and then the earth starts shaking. And this is something I write about.
Meaning?
We're going into a global financial crisis.
Yeah.
And so my assets are dropping precipitously. I lose 22.5% in our fund, and we have it now.
Okay, explain that. The funds dropped 22%.
Yeah, so the fund went from $400 million to like $320 million or 315, and then I had another 35% redemption.
Which means what?
Okay, so that means that people basically were saying, we want out of your fund, it stinks, you're not doing well. Yeah. And so now my assets went from 200 to about 180 million. And I talk about in the book how we were almost out of business. We were almost inside the rabbit hole where a lot of bad things were going to happen to us. And we did a number of things that were very aggressive. Number one, I went on TV. I host the show called Wall Street Week, which is Louis Rukeyser's old show.
Yeah.
Friday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern on the Fox Business Network. Who knew I would ever be in television? That was because of the crisis.
Yeah. So at a time when you are exposed,
yes,
and you're hurting, you don't retreat and go to the closet.
Yeah, that's the point of the book.
Yeah.
Without fear.
Yeah.
You have to accept, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, that you may lose your social status. There may be people snickering about you in terms of how you failed. But Steve Jobs was blown out of Apple. Bill Gates failed at his first operating system. I can give you countless failures of some of the most successful people ever. Jeff Bezos had a problem in his technology at Amazon in the beginning. It led to his cloud business. Yeah. Michael Dell's laptops were blowing up.
Jeff was the richest guy in the world last week. He can't even keep your book on the shelf, man.
Yeah,
he can't even keep hopping over the rabbit hole on the shelf at Amazon.
Jeff, if you can hear me, please order more books.
What's wrong with you, Jeff?
They're selling, so please order them. But
he can buy a newspaper, but he can't keep your book on the shelf.
But look, the point of the whole thing, and I think you are great at this, and this is one of the reasons why people love you so much, Grant, is that you can never ever give up in any circumstance, under any situation. And so imagine of your actual dream and achievement is without any fear of failure, and then go do that. Mm-hmm. And you'll figure it out along the way, like a MacGyver, an entrepreneurial MacGyver. And that's basically the lesson of my book. But I really did try to tell an honest story about what happens to people.
Yeah. So what happened in 2000? I mean, how close did you get to busting out in 2009?
Super close. I had a wire. I had my life savings I had set aside for my first business. I started wiring that into SkyBridge. And so I had a big loan into the company that obviously would have never been paid back. But thankfully, I kept every employee. And then we started doing some more aggressive things. I opened up our conference business, which I started the book with. I entered into a television contract with CNBC. I started going on as a contributor. And then I purchased from Citibank their fund of funds business and merged it into SkyBridge. And so that was ridiculous because we had a $200 million firm that bought $1.3 billion of assets. So it was like an elephant being eaten by a canary. And I write about the negotiation process, what it took to get that deal done, and to convince Citibank, by the way, that this little tiny company could handle their clients and would never embarrass them, which, it's 6.5 years later, and we have a phenomenal relationship with them. But there was a lot of stress in there. I don't know about you, but I grind my teeth. That didn't start happening until 2008. And I got
what teeth, man? I don't even have teeth back there anymore.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. You broke them off before you went to the dentist. But yeah. I wear this plastic block in my mouth, and I figure, why sanitize my success and tell people, it went in a straight line and all that sort of nonsense? I'd rather write a real revelatory book. And this is why, like I said, you're so popular, because you talk about your problems or your people diagnosing you with certain issues and how you just pounded it out. and worked yourself tirelessly to where you are today.
Yeah,
so
I got issues. I want to make my dad. I want to make my dad proud, dude. I want to make my mom proud, and they're not even alive. That's my issues.
Yeah, well, God bless you for that, because you know what? That's a lot about that. You know, talk about Wall Street. You say there's some thieves. One of the big lessons inside SkyBridge, I tell people, you're never doing anything inside this firm to dishonor my parents, who worked with their hands tirelessly to give me the life that I've had. So you know, you got to really send that message long and deep inside an organization, you know.
Well, Anthony and I have a lot in common, probably like you do. Okay, we came up from humble beginnings, had good parents, like most of you do, and if you don't have good parents, well, that's not an excuse either, you know. So
you have, even if you have difficulty or some level of dysfunctionality in your family. And by the way, I do have good parents, but I don't want to overstate. We weren't living in an Ozzie and Harriet or Leave It to Beaver house. I mean, there were fights and all kinds of stuff. But
dude, they were Italian. They were Italian. That comes with a lot of
exactly.
And you were brought up Catholic, I'm sure, right?
100. Yeah, I'm still practicing Catholic. But I would tell you this, okay? No matter what your issues are or what the issues are of your parents, just have it in your head that people are trying their hardest. You know,
yeah.
If you have in your head that your parents did their best and they weren't trying to be malicious towards you, you know what? You have a very easy way of forgiving them. And then you can move forward and focus on what's important in your life.
You're listening to Anthony Scaramucci. This guy, he's an author, 3 books. The most recent, Hopping Over the Rabbit Hole. You've seen him on CNBC. He's a co-host of Wall Street Week. He's the number 91st the worst magazine's Power 100. Man, I got to get some titles like you got, man.
Yeah. I sort of laugh at that. I sort of think that people think that they should be on that list. So like, what the hell is he doing there? But I'm going to pay a big compliment. Okay. So my wife and her friends were like, you know, hey, are you going on Grant Cardone's show on his Skype? I said, yeah, they all think you're a stud, by the way. So I give you 2 thumbs up on that. All right?
That's awesome.
Everybody knows who you are, brother.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, if I had a show on CNBC, more people would know. So I don't know why I can't close that deal.
I got to get you on. If you want to come on Wall Street Week one night, it's Friday nights. I mean, we tape it on a Thursday or a Wednesday, sometimes Friday morning.
Well, when I come in for the McGregor fight, I'll just work it around that.
Let me know. I'd love to have you on. We could talk about, like, you know, your career and talk about what people need to do to make themselves more successful and proud of themselves.
So me and Anthony are going to do some other things together, folks. But look, every week I want to bring you somebody in power. This guy is in power, okay? And what in position where you can tell other people, look, I don't know if this will work for you, but
here, and I look forward to following up with you. And when you get to New York, you know, you look like you're in phenomenal shape, but I know you like good Italian food, so you let me take you to some special places, all right?
It's the wine I like that goes with the Italian food, man.
Right, exactly.
The book is Hopping Over the Rabbit Hole, okay? I'm pleading with you to go order it right now. The more you read, the more you learn, the more you're going to earn, and the better position you're going to be in when there's fear and doubt, like Anthony talked about today. Anthony, thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate it. It's a big honor. Thank you, Grant. Well, let's follow up, okay?
I will, buddy. I will.
See
and
you soon.
Thank you for watching Power Players, okay? Next week and every week, I bring you somebody in power. Maybe next week or in the future, it'll be you. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like the show today, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and post your comments. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Hey, welcome to Cardone Capital. Thank you so much for visiting the site. Obviously, you're somebody that's interested in earning more money than the banks pay you. Maybe you don't, like me, trust the Wall Street casino. You don't want to race into the ETFs like the whole world seems to be doing, paying $6 billion in management fees just last year. Well, if you love real estate, if you like passive income, if you're a patient investor that's willing to protect their capital, that's your desire to protect your capital and grow it over time, you're in the right place. My name's Grant Cardone, and for 30 years now, I've been investing in real estate. And before I tell you more about Cardone Capital, let me tell you how I got into the real estate game. I had 2 very successful businesses that were producing a lot of money. And these 2 businesses, as I reinvested in the businesses, they got bigger and more successful and produced more money. And the more money they produced, the more money I had that was sitting in a bank earning almost nothing. And by the way, this is when I was being paid 5 or 6% of my money. Fast forward to today, that money's earning less than half of 1%. In fact, there's $3 trillion today sitting in banks earning less than 0.05%. That's your money, my sister's money. When my mom was alive, that was her money, my brother's money, all my friends talking about how the bank doesn't pay them anything, and I'm sitting there saying, yeah, that's my money too. So about 30 years ago, I started looking into real estate, income producing real estate, multifamily apartments sitting on properties. These are big properties, 100 units, 200 units, 300, sometimes 500 and 1,000 units. I've done this over 7 states over the last 30 years. I've bought and sold over $750 million with my first deal starting with $350,000. And that $340 million worth of real estate that I own, operate, and manage today that produces income for me every month. So the reason I created Cardone Capital was because I have so many successful people in my life, like you, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are authors, experts, people, leaders in their fields, influencers, who are so busy with their career, so busy with their families. They're like, Grant, I want the kind of returns you're getting from real estate, but Grant, I don't know where to find the deals. I don't have the time to find the deals. I don't want to manage these properties. I don't have the expertise. Grant, can I literally ride on deals with you? And for years, I literally resisted this until finally, when I look around at the financial landscape and I see banks literally paying people less than 0.5%. And the ETFs, where billions of dollars are rushing to ETFs. And I know this is a sign. When that much money goes in one direction, I know that there will be another problem in that capital to provide successful people like yourself. I've been successful, it's been great for me, I want it to be great for you. This is a great opportunity. If you love real estate, if you like cash flow, if you income producing property, I would love to have you invest with me as a partner. I believe this is going to be a great opportunity for many, many people. Number one, you can do nothing, okay? Continue to keep your money at the bank, it earns nothing. That's not my fault, that's the way it is. Or you can continue to do the Wall Street thing. Good luck, red, black, pull the jackpot, get good cards, who knows, okay? Or number two you could do is just simply get more information from me by going to sign up now, and we're happy to put you on a mailing list, and we'll give you updates on what we're doing at Cardone Capital. I know this is gonna be a big success. I expect it to be a multi-billion-dollar company. I'd love to have you on the ground floor. If you feel good about me, if you feel good about what I've said here, maybe you've done enough research, the third option is to invest now. First name, last name, your phone number, how much you want to do, and we'll have somebody reach out to you right away. I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to get rich.
When you travel around the world and you see people who are so disadvantaged, do you not get so juiced about what you can do? Because what Grant said, what he wants to do is take a portion of what he does to give back.
20% of my net dollars go to charity.
Let's give it up for your man, Grant Cardone!
These people love you because you're genuine.
Be relentless, be strong, know everything. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next year. 10X!